You're listening to the Armchair GM Sports Network.
This is Rod Mahood, your in-game voice of the Niagara IceDogs, and you're listening to the Dog Pound Podcast on the Armchair GM Sports Network, your podcast source for all game analysis, team interviews, and up-to-date news regarding the Niagara IceDogs.
Perlini! Overtime! IceDogs win! They score! Verhaeghe was also jamming away. It's a power play goal for the IceDogs. And they score! Hosang, first goal as an IceDog. Strome stops Shipley. Ritchie scores! Gets it to Akil Thomas. Thomas has the angle coming in. He scores!
Welcome into another Niagara IceDogs game recap right here on the Dog Pound Podcast, the official podcast of your Niagara IceDogs, proudly brought to you by Global Pet Foods, where pets are undeniably part of the family in our three great Niagara region locations. Brandon Caputo and Christian Simmons are here to discuss the IceDogs 4-3 victory here at home at the Meridian Centre over Central Division foe in the Sudbury Wolves for Canadian Thanksgiving. Thank you to those that are tuned in live on our Armchair GM Sports Network YouTube channel as you're enjoying your hopefully great festive meals, and those that are listening the next day on your favorite on-demand audio platform. Make sure to give us a follow on X at Dog Pound Podcast. Stay up to date with all of our IceDogs coverage, as well as on Instagram, TikTok, and Facebook as well. You can see some of our great pregame interviews and other features that Christian Simmons was able to do today.
Oh, yeah. We're mixing it up.
Oh, yeah. Mixing it up with some content here and for our short reels and other sort of content you see on the network. So, with that said, Christian, it was again, the IceDogs came away with the win, and we vented a little bit about it, getting down there for the postgame. Wasn't this team's best start, and yes, they faced a Sudbury team that got their first win last night in Erie, but at the end of a 3-3, and you could tell in that third period, the IceDogs knew that they had a tired Sudbury Wolves team, and they had to take advantage, and they came through when they needed to grab the 2 points.
Lots to talk about for Thanksgiving dinners, that's for sure. I'm sure all these IceDogs, their parents are going to be filled with compliments for tonight, and also maybe a little bit of criticism, as are we. I think it's a game where you want a little bit more. You know, Wasselin comes back. Really excited for that. The top six looks scary. You got, the bottom six looks great as well. You have, Vladislav Yermolenko playing fantastic. And things from a statistical standpoint, from a bird's eye view, look fantastic. IceDogs come away with the win. And we're not going to get too negative. It is fantastic. The IceDogs take one of two here this week. They beat the Sudbury Wolves for the second time this season in this building. Can't really complain too much. They get the 2 points. But a lot of stuff to work on, a lot of things to develop here in the coming weeks as we get deeper into the season. But definitely, like you said, Brandon, not a pretty one.
Bounced back after the loss against the very potent Brantford Bulldogs here a couple nights ago. So again, they tumble with the 2 points, but not exactly how they drew it up. But we're going to hear from IceDogs head coach Krys Barch, as well as import defenseman Ben Reisnecker scoring his first career OHL goal. We'll get to speak to that young man as well in the postgame later tonight. But Christian, quickly take us through the lineup, because obviously Brady Wasselin being back in the lineup tonight was big for the IceDogs. Yermolenko in net. Andrew Wysick not in the lineup for the IceDogs on the back end. But what did you notice there from the line combos tonight?
Yeah, an interesting look. Like I said, previously the top six looks incredible. You got Robrick, Patterson, and Wasselin. That's what we're calling the first line. The second line is what I call line 1.5. That's Kevin He, Ethan Zada, and Ryerson Edgar. It's a first line on lots of teams around the Ontario Hockey League. We got two first lines, which is fantastic. A little energy line on line number 3. Wraith Smith, Hayden Reed, Sean Doherty. I thought they had a great game here this afternoon, playing physical, and I like to look at that as that's the Krys Barch special. You know what I mean? Like, he loves that group, right? They're going to chip the puck in deep. They're going to finish their checks. They're going to play that physical brand of hockey. And then a combination of a couple of different things on the fourth line. You got Gallianov, Jacob Monks, and Alex Hage for kind of a nifty look of some speed, skill, and physicality on that fourth group that I also thought had a great night as well. The bottom six for me looks great. So does the top six. Up and down the lineup, everybody contributed. Of course, Ben Reisnecker on the back end was fantastic. He was paired up with Liam Spencer tonight. I thought their unit was great. Not a lot to dislike from the lineup. I think it's really starting to take shape. And then Vladislav Yermolenko in between the pipes again, and he played sensational tonight. Scratches, we'll quickly go through them just so we don't leave anybody out. Cole Cooksey, Andrew Wysick, Blake Barnes, Judd Noft, and Mateusz Speth don't draw into the lineup tonight. Or this afternoon, I should say. An interesting one. I do like the line combinations, though. I thought it was a dangerous look for the four lines up front.
And since our last episode, Christian, Matthew Humphreys has been reassigned to the Aurora Tigers in the OJHL, already picking up a nice win for that young man. Confidence and good for him to get some playing time because obviously Charlie Robertson has shown that he's 100% coming off that double hip surgery, and Vladislav Yermolenko, the import coming over, has shown that he's capable, clearly, what we saw tonight, to handle the load as well. So I think they've got those two guys right now, and Humphreys is still only a phone call away, and they've got a lot of high hopes for that young man going into the future. But good for him to get down to Aurora, get some playing time, and they'll be riding with Robertson and Yermolenko for now.
Yeah, and I think they have three fantastic goaltenders in this organization now. It's a great spot to be where you have to send a guy like Matt Humphreys down to the Aurora Tigers. What a luxury to take a very prominent, young, talented netminder and say, we're going to give you some playing time and we'll see you next year. Maybe later this season. I mean, absolutely, there's still lots of hockey left to be played. Things can happen.
Knock on wood.
I shouldn't have said that. We'll knock on wood here for sure. But, I like what I've seen from the goaltenders. I thought Yermolenko played great. Charlie Robertson's been fantastic, and Humphreys just looking to get a little bit more experience, and he's going to get that with the Aurora Tigers, and he's going to blank a lot of teams in the OJ. I'll tell you right now from experience, working in some of those, minor junior leagues as opposed to the major levels. It's a different skill level, and in the Ontario Junior Hockey League, you see some older players, and maybe that's some of the experience they're looking for him to gain there. See some harder shots from some bigger bodies, maybe bigger screens. Who knows, out in front of the crease. But going to be a good experience for Matt Humphreys, but I am satisfied, I would say, and of course, the brass here is as well with Vladislav Yermolenko and Charlie Robertson. They've been fantastic. And, not much else to say there about the goaltending situation. Really quickly, though, before we forget, happy birthday to Bones. All right, we need to make sure that is said on the podcast. It was well documented today on the social media pages and, in the arena and outside of it. But from us at the Dog Pound Podcast and the Armchair GM Sports Network, Bones, a very happy birthday to you. My favorite dog.
Absolutely.
Never had a dog, actually. I don't know. Have you had a dog?
Oh, yeah.
I wish. Never had a dog, and that frustrates me. So Bones is by extension my pet. Love him like a brother, I guess you could say. But we're going to figure out how old he is in dog years.
If anybody knows, let us know.
Please, in the comment section, somebody. We did a ticket giveaway, and I will say this. If somebody can tell me, a guess, let's do a guess. I will buy them a ticket for an upcoming game of your choosing. Okay? Somebody give me the exact answer to a T without Googling it. Actually, I don't know how.
Yeah, good luck with that.
Good luck verifying. We'll do it the way like people, you know how students, when they're writing tests, you got like that browser that like locks it down. We'll start testing people. I bet you guys weren't ready for that one on a Sunday on Thanksgiving weekend. And a happy Thanksgiving as well. We can throw that out there as well for all of our listeners. But what do you think, Brandon? Game stats?
Yeah, let's get into the game stats tonight, brought to you by J&L Flooring. If you're thinking a better deal anywhere else, you don't know Jack, contact them at jnlflooring.com or visit them, their Niagara Falls location, be your quality flooring project today, and Jack's going to love that. He's a Sabres guy. Sabretooth was here in attendance today, along with Deke from the Oshawa Generals. You had Jacques Poisson from the Welland Jackfish and a couple mascots from the Oshewegan Speedway as well here to help Bones celebrate his birthday bash. What a lucky guy.
It was the hottest red carpet I've ever seen. insane. These guys were, there should have been sparks flying. You should have seen the way these guys were entering. Yeah, jocks, you name it, mascots all over the place. I loved it. Sabertooth.
Except for when they came with the Blue Jay jerseys on, but that's a whole other
where
story.
Brandon's afternoon took a sharp turn for the worst.
That was
As
not
most
fun.
of you are aware, he is a New York Yankees fan. Be sure to remind him in the comments section that the Yankees are no longer playing ball this year.
Yeah. Tread lightly, Christian.
Yeah.
Anyway, so let's get into the shots on net, and this was the biggest discrepancy that we had talked about most of the game. 45-26 in favor of the Sudbury Wolves. The first period 18-6, and then it sort of was able to stabilize for the IceDogs 13-10 and 14-10 in favor of Sudbury. But obviously the glaring thing was that first period with the IceDogs even giving up a couple of shorthanded chances as well on the power play that they had. It definitely looked like they were coming off a 3-3 in the first period.
For sure, and I think that's where some of the concern sets in. And to take it a step further, not just the first period, it leaked into the second period as well. I took a look up at the shot clock or the shot tracker. 30 minutes into this game, 10 minutes into period number 2, the IceDogs had not registered 10 shots on goal. They were down, I think it was something like 24-7. And, absolutely shots weren't great. And it just speaks to, not being ready, not coming out with the IceDogs brand of hockey, the Krys Barch brand of hockey of playing physical, getting the puck in deep, forechecking, putting your foot on the gas. I felt like we had our left foot on the brake and our right foot on the gas, like driving a car in a circle, going nowhere in a parking lot. Like, it was some guys moving forward and then, 2 steps forward, 1 step back. Right? Or 2 steps backwards as opposed to 1 step forward. And there was a lot of great things that happened. I just think Sudbury did a great job of controlling the pace of play in that first period, and you got to give them a lot of credit. I mean, they come into this one, the latter half of a 3-3, and they looked fantastic in the first period. And, of course, Krys Barch and company won't be too happy about that one. But, yeah, the shots definitely glare off the page for you. And for myself, they're going to jump 45-26. Not a great look. The IceDogs also lost in the faceoff dot this afternoon. They lost on the power play. They lost on the penalty kill. We won. You won the game. The score was 4-3, but you look at all the other metrics, all the statistics, they read in Sudbury's favor, and that's how you can analyze this game. Yes, Kevin He scored. Yes, Ryan Robrick score. Ben Reisnecker gets his first of his OHL career, and Vladislav Yermolenko set fire to the blue ice tonight. But beyond that, there was not a whole lot of other things happening in this game where the IceDogs were successful, and I think that's a little bit concerning for me.
And the IceDogs an 11% power play coming in, which ranks them 17th out of 20 teams. Sudbury, Erie, and Flint, the only other teams worse in the power play department. And Sudbury scored 2 goals on the power play tonight, so that's going to up their percentage a little bit. But the IceDogs penalty kill, to me, has been a lot better than 12th in the OHL. I feel like they've done a really good job on that PK unit, and they've been able to stabilize there. They only give up, 4-on-6 isn't their best performance, but Sudbury 2 for 6 on the power play, Niagara 1 for 5. But they did get a shorthanded goal from Grayson Tiller, as we'll get into in the scoring summary, Christian. But anything else? You mentioned the face-off dot. Did anything stick out to you there tonight?
Not really. I think it comes with hockey. You're not always going to win the faceoff dot. It's fantastic when, Ethan Zada decides he's going to win every faceoff. But it's just not realistic. Sometimes it's going to go the other way. I think for me, the faceoffs are not the worst thing to lose in a hockey game. Of course, it dictates possession, and that could also be, reading in between the lines, something that was a factor here today. But I don't want to read too deep into it. Right. IceDogs win. They get big performances from their big guns when they needed to. They lost in the box score, beyond the goals, but it is what it is. I will say before we move on that I thought the penalty kill was sharp. You mentioned it briefly. They did a great job of moving pucks out, and they clogged the center of the ice, which is exactly the struggle that the IceDogs had on the power play. They couldn't find a way to get the puck through the center of the ice. But to their credit, the IceDogs had a fantastic penalty kill tonight. I thought Callum Chanowski in particular was an absolute wall. His knees, his shin pads don't even work after this game, I'll tell you that. He was blocking shots left, right, and center. Give him a ton of credit. Liam Spencer was great on the PK tonight. Love what I see from Galyanov. As always, he's a workhorse on the penalty kill. So I thought the penalty kill was strong. Power play, not so much. Shots, not so much. Face-off, not so much. But penalty kill was a plus.
Quickly on the power play, Christian, because I asked Krys Barch about it later in the postgame, but they started with 5 forwards tonight. With Brady Watson being back in the lineup, you had him on the point with Kevin He, Ryan Robrick, Ethan Zada, and Riley Patterson up front. By the end of the game, in the last power play they had, it was Watson, Patterson, Zada up front with Kevin He at the point, but Artem Frolov as the defenseman. And we saw that come in handy a few times when Sudbury had some really good shorthanded chances. Artem Frolov came up with a big 3-on-1 play where he was able to break it up, and he came up with a big one-on-one play as well later in one of the other power plays. So putting Frolov back there obviously gives you more of a chance to not give up those great shorthanded opportunities that Sudbury had early in the game when they had the 5 forwards out. And it just, to me, seemed like too many cooks in the kitchen with all 5 of those guys being elite offensive players that need the puck on their stick.
Yeah, exactly. And it's almost like, well, what's the weak side? What's the weak side of the power play? You got 5 superstars on the ice. How do you navigate the offensive zone? Who gets the puck where? And what's the strategy? Like, what, Robrick on the half wall? Is he just supposed to shoot it every time? Like, it's so, for me, I agree with that saying. I think cooks in the kitchen too many is a great way to look at it, for sure. And when they did make that adjustment, it worked. Ryan Robrick scored on the power play, on the second unit, mind you, because they made that adjustment. And I think for a ton of different reasons, Artem Frolov is fantastic on this power play. I mean, you see the mobility. His defensive game, to your credit, we talked about this tonight, has taken massive steps in his OHL career. He's not just an offensive player. He can play defense as well. But I think he knows how to quarterback. And as good as Brady Watson is, I like him better on the half wall. I think he can make those seam passes. Mm-hmm. But he can't. What he can't do is skate backwards at the same speed as Artem Frolov. So for me, those 2-on-1s, the 3-on-1, and the breakaway that we saw tonight on the penalty kill is probably a result of not having Frolov quarterbacking that power play. So I do like the adjustment, and it paid off. We'll get to the goal later, but I did notice that myself as well. 5-forward power play, an interesting choice. I mean, can't blame him, though, can you?
Yeah.
Look at the guys you put out there. It's not exactly a bad decision. I think maybe the chemistry's coming. Obviously, Brady Wasslin's first game back, so he's got to start gelling with his teammates, and they'll start to get an idea of where each other are on the ice, and they'll start to develop, an understanding of, how that puck's going to move. I don't think that 5-man power play, that 5-forward power play is going anywhere anytime soon. I think it can be dangerous, but I do like the option of having both. You can have Wasslin at the point, you can have Frolov on the point. I like either one. I just think that 5-forward power play tonight didn't look great. It can look great. I mean, there's no reason why it can't. Just I like Frolov better.
And it can be very volatile at times the other way. So
that's the thing. Do you want to score 5 and give up 4 shorthanded goals?
Yeah.
What's the trade-off? So, yeah, I think Frolov's, that's more of that unit is more of a comfortable. If you're with 3 minutes left in a playoff game and you're tied, you're probably putting Frolov out there on that unit, right? Depends on where you are. It's the 10th game of the season, playing Sudbury, in our own building. We're comfortable. Wasslin's first game back. Let's try it. Sure. But I do think as we get deeper in the season, decisions are going to have to be made as to, what is the moment and what's important, what's up for grabs, or maybe a better term would be what's at stake. And I think I just like Artem Frolov on the back end. I think he's a weapon.
Yeah, I like him a lot, too. And again, his second stint here with the IceDogs definitely looks a lot more confident in all ends of the ice. But we'll get forward with our scoring summary tonight, brought to you by the Niagara Employment Help Center, helping people find work in Niagara since 1983. Check out their up-to-date job board at ehc.on.ca to find your next work opportunity today. We'll quickly get through this scoring summary as fast as we can, because we both want to go home and eat our somewhat Thanksgiving dinners. But regardless of that, first off, 2 big saves by Vladislav Yermolenko in the first 30 seconds of the game. I wanted to quickly mention that Sudbury could have got off to the lead, but it's Ben Reisnecker taking the pass from Kevin He and wristing it with traffic from sort of the point there, being able to wrist that one, and good seeing eye shot there to give the IceDogs the lead, and obviously pick up the puck for the Czechian import, and a really special moment for that young man.
Absolutely, and for me, I've said this before on the podcast, that play comes down to Kevin He's speed. You know what he does? He drives the corner, and he turns back.
Yep.
Have you ever tried to turn back in a car going 100 miles an hour?
It's not possible.
Doesn't happen. Kevin He is a NASCAR, all right? He can do that. He has the ability. The defender that was covering him could not. Kevin He turns around in the corner. Guess what? All kinds of time and space. Reisnecker does a great job. He opens himself up. He gets that stick in a receiving area, grabs it, fires it. The rest is history. Reisnecker has his first in the OHL. So a great way to start this one. And then I guess the next 3.5 minutes were just nonstop goals. There was 4 goals in 4.5 minutes, Brandon. So a great start, but definitely fantastic for the young man to get his first.
You mentioned Sudbury gets that 5-on-3 after, unfortunate play, trying to get the puck out, giving Sudbury the 2-man advantage. And Kieran Walton takes a shot, and it was deflected by one of his teammates out in front, past Yermolenko. Not a whole lot he can do on that to get the Wolves on the board. But then it's Kevin He cutting down the left wing, and just watching him skate through the neutral zone and then seeing him cut towards the wall and going down that left wing. He scored a similar goal against Brantford doing that the other night as well. So, and he went short side this time on the Wolves goaltender, who tonight, out of the Russian roulette that we're going to call the Sudbury Wolves goaltending, no offense to our friend David Bowen over there in the Sudbury Wolves broadcast, but
I'm sure he would agree.
And he was a goalie once himself as well. But Owen Leonard was the goalie for the Sudbury Wolves tonight. Kevin He, really nice short side shot, and just the elusive moves that he's able to do in the neutral zone, those cuts to get around those defenders.
Yeah, no, it's just the way he navigates the neutral ice. I think, having the speed is one thing, but knowing how to use it and where to actually skate is a totally different thing. He's got the physical ability, and he's mixing it with almost the chess of, if I move this way, which way does that guy go? And what are the domino effects of my edges? He cuts this way, that guy moves this way, it opens up that side. Okay, I'm going to go over there, and then I'm going to roof it, short side, top lefts. And just to, stay there for a second, with Owen Leonard, I think they targeted short side tonight. A couple of goals short side. Later, we'll get to Robricks, but a great play, great individual play. We're going to see a lot more of that from number 11. Another speedy goal down the wing from Kevin He. That's not a surprise.
And then Chitteroni's able to tie the game for the Sudbury Wolves right off the face-off. He kind of just got the puck off the face-off win, kind of just cut down and was able to beat Yermolenko there. The IceDogs will want that coverage back. But then they're able to, in the second period, it's 2-2 going into the second period, midway through the second period, and this one was sort of a momentum changer because Sudbury's on another power play. I don't know if this was the Vladislav Yermolenko shot over the glass, but I know every time he goes behind the net to play the puck, Christian is up here and he's sweating, on pins and needles.
Sweating.
Every time Vladislav Yermolenko goes behind the puck, he's the modern-day Mike Smith if I've ever seen it.
I'm so close to jumping out of the booth. I'm going to see that netting. So where we stand in the Meridian Centre, the netting cuts off at about the hash marks. They're going to have to extend that because one of these days he's going to go back there to play the puck, and I swear to God I'm going to jump towards the glass. But you know what? I'll give him credit. He did a great job moving the puck today, but while we're on the topic, I will say there was a couple of scary ones tonight, all right? One of them, he actually took a penalty. I don't know what he was trying to do. I think the puck actually got tipped out of play, not really his fault. Whatever. It's going to happen.
Right.
But the same play, later in the game, almost was a goal. There was one where he was stuck in behind his cage, and forechecker just came a little faster than I guess he was expecting, and he got kind of caught on his heels. Puck came back out into the high slot, and where's Yermolenko? He's diving out from the trapezoid to just save this puck. And I turned to Brandon. I said, "This is if that puck goes in the net, this is my worst nightmare coming true, like Freddy Krueger." But yeah, I think his puck play is a positive, but it can be concerning at times. There was another play in the first period where he just gave away the puck. Mm-hmm. He shot the puck up the far side and went off the glass right into the hands of the Sudbury defender, as opposed to just leaving it behind the net for his defender to skate onto. So don't want to rip the young man. He had a fantastic game here this afternoon. So by all means, do not take my words too strongly when I refer to this. It's just something that I'm noticing. I love his ambition to play the puck and his comfortability. It's 100% going to kickstart a whole lot of breakouts this season, but it is also giving me heart palpitations. So it is a little bit of both, right? But anyways, back to the scoring summary.
Yep. So it was Kevin He that caused the turnover shorthanded down in the right corner from the Sudbury Wolves net, and he's able to sort of just find Grayson Tiller cutting down, and with no hesitation, just one-time blasts this thing.
Fulton Reed. Fulton Reed.
Looked like Al McInnes back in the day. I'm showing my age on that one. But,
I've seen the Mighty Ducks. I know Fulton Reed. I have no idea who Al McInnes is.
You're too young.
Hockey player.
Yes. Hall of Fame player for the St. Louis Blues.
St. Louis Blues. I was going to guess Rangers.
He could put a slap shot through the glass. I'll just say that.
So Fulton Reed. He's a real-life Fulton Reed.
But he just blasted this one past Owen Leonard, and what a great moment for Grayson Tiller for his first goal on home ice in front of a lot of friends and family. Seemed like a lot of them were here tonight as well. The St. Catharines native got his first goal on the road, but first one at home I'm sure means a lot to the overager.
Yeah, it's like what we would call a spray and pray. Close your eyes and just take a whack. And that puck just found him in the right spot. Shorthanded goal and a momentum shifter. Fantastic for him, fantastic for the team, and for Owen Leonard. I mean, what are you going to do?
Yeah.
Right? Like that puck just comes at you, 150 kilometers an hour. Tiller leaned every last ounce of his weight into that biscuit off the crossbar, and in it goes. And, for a first goal here, at home, in front of the home fans on a Thanksgiving Sunday. Couldn't have asked for a better one.
No, that's for sure. And again, Kevin He causing the turnover. Just an incredible effort by him. Continues to be a menace on both sides of the puck. And then we get to the third period with the IceDogs up 3-2. The Wolves tie it with fellow Winnipeg Jets prospect Kieran Walton, finding a little bit of space between Vladislav Yermolenko's pad and the post. A really nice shot low by Kieran Walton to give them to tie the game at threes. And we get later into the third period, about 6 minutes later, 10:41 mark, about half period to play, and Ryan Robrick gets the power play goal. Christian, walk us through this one.
Yeah, no, this is there's a couple of ways to look at this. The units change, so we're looking out there. So what do we see? A defenseman on the power play. It's the second unit. Ryan Robrick's out there with Edgar's unit, and just a different look. He gets a great look at Owen Leonard on the short side. Up top of the point, it's Ben Reisnecker. Just feathers one right across, not even really across, just right down the wall, finds Robrick, and he takes a couple of strides to the top of this circle and lets one go. Goes short side, top left. A beautiful shot from Ryan Robrick. I thought he had a couple of nice shots tonight. His shot looks good. It's funny. I was listening to Leafs Talk, the Toronto Maple Leafs podcast the other night, right? As Brandon looks skyward and rolls his eyes. But and you know what they were talking about? They said with a guy like Austin Matthews, I'm not looking at whether or not he's scoring. I'm looking at what his shot looks like. Right? Tonight, Robrick scores. He's quietly been putting together a decent season. He's got, I think, after tonight, probably 8 or 9 points so far. He's producing, but it's not necessarily a dynamic, a dynamic production that we've seen so far from Ryan Robrick. But I saw a couple of shots today. He leaned into them. They were heavy. They were fast. And they definitely gave me a neck kink trying to keep up with them. They were fast. And, I like what I saw from his game. He had some great defensive plays. And, of course, that was a great snapshot. He goes upstairs on the short side, and his fourth in the season comes in the power play. So 2 times from the same spot they beat Owen Leonard. That was the second time they did that.
And Ryan Robrick gave a lot of credit to Liam Spencer on that play, who, as the defenseman, was screening the goaltender as well.
Yes. And that's another thing. Bring in some big bodies on the power play. I mean, to go back to the first unit, like the all-forward one, Ethan Zada is a pretty big boy, so is Riley Patterson, but Brady Wasselin and Kevin He, and who's screening? Who's screening the goaltender there? All of them are waiting. They're waiting. I want the pass, right? We're looking for, these are skill guys, right? You put a guy like Liam Spencer out front, all he's going to do is stand there. 6'5". There you go. 6'5". That is a telephone pole in front of Owen Leonard. He couldn't see a thing. Like, that gives Robrick the chance to walk in. But I will give the coaching staff a ton of credit. They made the adjustment. They dismantled the 5-forward power play. They went with a different look, and they got rewarded for it.
And the IceDogs do hold on. Sudbury had the advantage with the 6-on-5 and then ended up taking a penalty to really negate any opportunity that they had, and the IceDogs basically just hemmed them in their zone for the last 20 seconds. So IceDogs come away with a 4-3 victory.
They do, and a great victory. Well,
Vladislav Yermolenko, 42 saves. I'll say that.
That's where the great comes in. For me, the great is that Ryan Robrick got on the score sheet. Kevin He had 3 points. Again, I don't know what's this guy... he's just lighting it up, and you love to see that from the captain. Yermolenko had a great night. Lots of stuff to like, but lots of things to improve upon. And it's still early season. Growing pains are 100%, good. I like to look at it that way. I myself am very recently getting into the gym, and I will tell you right now that when you're new at something, it hurts. It hurts. And it's a good feeling when you get the growing pains. It means you're developing. You're getting better. The IceDogs right now are like me on a bench press machine. They may not be great, but they got potential. All right, they're going places. And there's a lot to like, but still, room to improve, room to lift heavier. But I thought it was a respectable 60 minutes of work tonight from the IceDogs.
We will get more post-game reaction coming up after the break. We'll hear from IceDogs head coach Krys Barch and Ben Reisnecker following his first career OHL goal. So stay right here. We're right back on the Dog Pound Podcast, the official podcast of your Niagara IceDogs, and on the Armchair GM Sports Network. We're right back after this.
Did you know that the global pet food stores in the Niagara region are all independently owned by members of the local community? We believe that pets are truly part of the family and are a source of joy in everyday homes around the world. Yet that living, loving experience usually doesn't happen all on its own, but takes extra effort to create and maintain. And we want you to know that the owners and staff at Global Pet Foods are always there to help you keep it going any way we can, because we believe. Proud show sponsor of the Dog Pound Podcast, the official podcast of the Niagara IceDogs. We hope to see you at one of the following locations across Niagara: 3643 Portage Road in Niagara Falls, 160 Highway 20 in Font Hill, as well as 400 Scott Street and 344 Glendale Avenue in St. Catharines. Global Pet Foods, where pets are undeniably part of the family.
Since 1999, Niagara Dental Clinic has been helping thousands of patients achieve natural-looking smiles with the confidence to show them off. Sean Patel and his wife Anne, both licensed denturists, bring a wealth of skill and experience to the warm and friendly atmosphere to their Niagara Falls location at 5501 Drummond Road. And their on-site Niagara Hearing Clinic offers free hearing tests and a variety of services to fit your needs. This family-run practice takes pride in providing superior care and service to their patients, along with the best premium products available on the market. Get the best work done at a more reasonable price. Niagara Dental Clinic is here to help. Protect your teeth with a mouth guard, replace missing teeth, and get better hold with your dental implants. Call them today for a free consultation at 905-353-1552 or check them out online at niagaradentalclinic.com. Niagara Dental Clinic, creating natural smiles in the Niagara region for 25 years.
Wild Bill's Auto Repair is your local center for auto maintenance and repair in the Niagara region. Since 2012, Wild Bill's Auto Repair and Body Shop has been helping customers stay safe and confident on the road, knowing their vehicle is in top running condition through the garage's services. Located at 7868 Oakwood Drive in Niagara Falls, the garage started as a tribute to the owner's father, William Robert Hunter, who passed away, continuing the same community spirit and high level of service which customers can expect from him back at Hunter's Auto Repair. Their multi-award-winning auto shop has earned the trust of the Niagara community with its fair treatment of all customers who can feel confident they'll get trustworthy advice and repairs during their visit. Their experienced crew loves meeting new people and looks forward to forming a lasting partnership for the care of your vehicles. To find out more or to book a service, contact them today at 905-358-7868 or wildbillsauto.ca. Wild Bill's Auto Repair, helping customers stay safe and confident on the road since 2012. Are you currently looking for work in the Niagara region? If so, you owe it to yourself to check out the services provided by the Niagara Employment Help Center, located at 6100 Thorold Stone Road in Niagara Falls. Their many free services include a fully staffed resource area open to the public, resume and cover letter writing, local labor market information, job search strategies, assistance with clarifying employment, training, and career goals, employment counseling and job search support, and Better Jobs Ontario information and registration assistance. Check out their website at ehc.on.ca or call 905-358-0021 for more information. The Niagara Employment Help Center, helping people find work since 1983.
This Employment Ontario program is funded by the Government of Ontario.
Hey, this is Ryan Strom.
This is Carter Verhage.
This is Brendan Perlini.
This is Phil Tomasino.
You're listening to the
Dog Pound Podcast,
the official podcast of the Niagara IceDogs.
Welcome back to part 2 of today's Dog Pound Podcast. Niagara IceDogs game recap right here on the Armchair GM Sports Network YouTube channel. Thank you to those that are tuned in live on your Thanksgiving Sunday, maybe in between your turkey coma and dessert, or wherever you're listening to us, maybe the next day on your favorite on-demand audio platform on the Thanksgiving Monday. Brandon Caputo and Christian Simmons are back with you, continuing to break down the IceDogs 4-3 victory over Central Division rival Sudbury Wolves here on a Sunday afternoon at the Meridian Centre. Make sure to give us a follow on X at Dog Pound Podcast. Stay up to date with all of our IceDogs coverage, as well as on Facebook, Instagram, and TikTok for all of our short reels and other video content. Before we get any further, Christian, the IceDogs got a win today on home ice, so you know what that means.
I like it.
That when you hear that, that means that the next day, which tomorrow's a holiday, so we're gonna have to push this to Tuesday.
And I'm gonna have 2 days from now.
I'm gonna have to let Neil and John know that this is gonna be a Tuesday thing, since they're probably closed tomorrow. But go to any 3 of the Global Pet Foods locations: Niagara Falls, Scotch Street in St. Catharines, or Fonthill, and get your furry friend a free dog treat courtesy of this Niagara IceDogs victory and the Dog Pound Podcast, as Global Pet Foods and their 3 great Niagara region locations are the official sponsor of this show. As well, you can send us an email, and the email is in the description of this video to get in on our monthly giveaway. We're going to be giving away a $25 gift card for each of the 3 stores each and every month here on the show. So make sure to send us an email at the Dog Pound Podcast OHL@gmail.com if you want to be entered into that giveaway as well. So shout out to them and for their continued support. I'm thankful on Thanksgiving to have Global Pet Foods Niagara on board all season long with the IceDogs. So with that said, Christian, before we get to Krys Barch's post-game comments, the IceDogs, a little bit of a lighter schedule this week with the 2 home games. They'll have some more practice time, a home and home with Erie for the OHL rivalry week, which is something that they've done the last few years, really ramping it up this season. They'll face the Erie Otters, their geographical rivals here next weekend, in a home and home, first in Erie and then back here. So if you're looking at it, more opportunity for the IceDogs to pick up some points against an opponent that you look on paper that they should, quotation marks, be able to beat, but that's why it's called rivalry week.
Yeah, my only question is, where's the tailgate? I mean, we're gonna be Erie in here. We gotta collect. We gotta unify. All right, we gotta protest in the streets. Everybody come together, all for one for all. But it should be a great week. I'm anticipating 2 massive Niagara IceDogs victories. We go on that winning streak. We bounce right back from a couple of tough losses last week, but you never know. I mean, Erie played a pretty respectable game last night against the Sudbury Wolves, so it's hard to know. It's hockey. There's bounces. Erie, a team that's competitive, and Niagara's going to have to bring their best game. They're going to have to start on time, which they didn't do tonight, and they got to get shots on goal. I mean, Sudbury, similar to the Erie Otters, they both have a little bit of a question mark in goal. Not 100%, a Charlie Robertson, or in Brantford, like a Ryerson Leanders or a David Igorov. You got to get shots on goal. Yep. It's how you win these games. So for me, those would be my keys to victory. Show up as the pack of wild dogs that you did here tonight. Make sure you get the puck actively on the net, and cause havoc, and that's how they're going to get it done next weekend. But definitely an exciting week of hockey. I'm looking forward to it.
The IceDogs improved to 5-3, 0-1 on the season, and we'll see where that ranks them, coming in second place in the Eastern Conference and atop the Central Division standings as of now, but we'll wait and see how everything shakes out after the other Sunday games this afternoon. So let's get to IceDogs head coach Krys Barch and his post-game comments, as always brought to you by Wild Bill's Auto Repair, helping customers stay safe and confident on the road in Niagara since 2012 in honor of the late William Robert Hunter. Here's what the IceDogs head coach had to say about his team's victory to close out Thanksgiving Sunday, and a little bit about his favorite dishes on this day as well. Well, Coach, get this team at the end of a 3-3. You could tell in the third period they were on their heels a little bit. You were able to take advantage to be able to pull out the 2 points in a 4-3 victory on Thanksgiving. I'm sure that was a big one for the guys.
Yeah, I thought the way we started the game, I thought maybe they got to Turkey a little early this morning. But hey, it's 2 points. We are in the business of wins and losses, so that's in terms of taking that confidence and bringing it forth throughout the week will be a good thing for us. And then for these kids to go home and to families and have a good meal tomorrow, hopefully they'll have more of a smile on their face.
Getting Wasselin back in the lineup, I'm sure, is big for the whole group's confidence. Getting an impact player like that, you put him on the power play as well tonight. What did it feel like having number 66 on your lineup card again?
Yeah, I know it's great. He's a weapon. It's a big year for him in terms of the NHL draft, so probably a lot of excitement, and it's just nice to have him back in the lineup.
Ben Reisnecker, big night for him, import player coming in. He finally gets his first goal. I know the guys are really excited for him in that sense, and he's put a lot of work in on and off the ice to earn that opportunity, and then getting an assist as well. What do you think of the Czechian imports game tonight?
You know what? Great. Defended well. Real good first pass. Puck execution was very high. Shut down a lot of their high-end players. So for me, what he did out there, again, another step towards further growth. And again, we look this week and continued work with respect to his development. So.
For half the game, you put out 5 forwards on the power play again. I know that you had said last week that maybe you were going to try something different there, but you went back to the 5. Obviously, 5 really good players. Was that sort of just maybe too many cooks in the kitchen? You switched Frolov back there, and I know he made a couple of big defensive plays on some of those shorthanded chances that Sudbury had as well.
Yeah, you know what? We did attempt the 5 forwards again. Wasn't the result we wanted, so we ended up breaking up into 2 units. Frolov on one, and then we had Reisnecker on the other. Again, Ryan Wilbrook, a nice goal, take advantage of that power play. So, you make some changes, and you hope they work.
And you had a little bit of a lighter game schedule this week, so were you able to kind of maybe dial in on some of the details at practice? Because when you play, two road games back-to-back weeks, and you're not really maybe getting as many practices. Was this kind of good after that Brantford game to really get the guys going with what you wanted them to do out there?
Yeah, we did invest in a lot of our system work this week. Next week again will be a nice four-day segment for us to kind of keep tightening the bolts on everything. So preparation and having those days of practice are huge, especially early on in the year.
What's Krys Barch's favorite dish on Thanksgiving?
Oh, my wife makes a lot of good dishes, so I don't know if I can pick just one. So,
is there one maybe that you had to pick?
There's a nice sweet potato. My son loves stuffing, so that's up there. There's a real good family tradition of a strawberry salad. So there's a few out there. So
thanks, Coach.
Yeah, thanks.
Is there any target date in mind when you want to get those shots on your goal down a bit? Because it seems to be you've been outshot just about every game.
Yeah, I would say more so starting on time. I think if you start on time, you possess pucks, you win puck battles, therefore you're playing the other team's end. I think it's more not really looking at that as a total. It's more showing up and being engaged when that puck's dropped. Shot is a shot. You can fire anything from anywhere if you want, but it's more for me analyzing O-zone possession time. Having pucks on your stick, making their D turn, making their D play, making them play defense. That's the real analytic that we buy into it. Shots is one thing, but what are those grade A, and then also, like I said, O-zone time. Are the analytics that you really need to investigate and buy into?
Yeah, Vladislav really played a good game today.
Fantastic. And again, great for his confidence. Young guy, made some real important saves for us. So he's a huge part of the equation. So.
There was IceDogs head coach Krys Barch on the Wild Bills out of repair postgame. Christian, I wish I could have asked about 4 more follow-ups about that Barch family table at Thanksgiving with some of those dishes he was talking about. Was getting me in my stomach was rumbling a little bit. That strawberry salad that he talked about sounded pretty good. But in all seriousness, sounded like he was pretty pleased with the way that they came out in that third period and took advantage of a very tired Sudbury team.
Yeah, absolutely. But yeah, no, I want some strawberry salad myself too. Sounds great. I gotta say, I'm starving. But no, yeah, I think a lot of the things that he mentioned there are similar to some of my observations with the way that this game went. Of course, starting on time, yeah, that's a big one. And as much as we want to talk about, they got outshot tonight. They got outshot in Sarnia. Well, what does that mean? What does that actually mean to get outshot? I think he hit the nail right on the head. Getting outshot is not as simple as you might think it is, because to his point, I could shoot the puck from the corner and it could register as a shot on goal. So I think it's a good point that he makes, to credit his forwards for when they're playing well. If we are up in the shots, it probably means that we're carrying the pace of play. It means we have offensive zone time. He mentioned that. So I think that for me is a big one. I like the way his head is turned in that direction when it comes to the shots. Not too worried about the actual metric, but what it represents. And I think that's a good thing for this IceDogs team to really focus on. They have been outshot with consistency over the past couple of games, but I think if they can focus on it from an offensive zone time point of view and starting on time and really building momentum, I think that's going to be key for them. Another thing, confidence with the win. He talked about it. It's a victory. As ugly as it was, it's still a victory. You take it, you roll with it, take that confidence into next week, back here at home, and then across the border in Erie, just make sure that you're ready to play. You're feeling good. You bring that good feeling to the rink for sure. And then Reisnecker, Yarmolenko, both, for me, the big dogs tonight. If I had to pick one of them for player of the game, I'd probably be in a pretty tough spot. I think they both played fantastic. Reisnecker, to Barch's point, he's great in tight areas for such a big guy. He's got great hands. He moves fantastically as well. Breakouts are solid at the point. He holds it, solid. He's got great pinching ability. He can shoot. He can score. He can hit. He can fight. There's not a lot of things that kid can't do. And then, Yarmolenko had some massive saves this afternoon. So I think he really covered this game top to bottom.
For sure. And, again, he's happy to have number 66 back on that lineup card as well.
Of course.
To his
Can't
disposal.
forget Brady.
No, definitely not. And he's just going to keep getting better and better. His first game since August 30th in that preseason game.
Which is crazy. Yeah.
So.
And I thought it looked great. Not a whole lot of offense happening there, but again, it's a day where the IceDogs just didn't have a whole lot of offense as a whole. So but I liked his game. I thought he made a couple of interesting dynamic plays. He came across the blue line. I like the way he moves laterally. A lot of guys can be fast in a straight line. You could have Kevin Heath speed, but he's got great agility. He moves around well, and I see the confidence with the puck. I see the vision, and I see the shot coming along, and I see the maturity in his game. So I think, for this team, it's just another Jenga block at the top of a leaning tower of Pisa. It's a dangerous group, and he just adds to that. He's a weapon. To Krys Barch's point, he's an absolute weapon, and it's always nice to get somebody like that back.
He's only going to get better and better when he gets those game legs under him. So we'll get to our IceDogs feature player interview brought to you by the Niagara Dental Clinic, creating natural smiles in the Niagara region for over 25 years. It's with Ben Reisnecker, the Czechian import defenseman, on his first career OHL goal and adding a nice assist as well. Let me know. Okay. Well, Ben, I'm sure that was a long time coming for you, being able to get that first puck into the net. What did you see on the play, and how did you feel after it went in?
I just got the puck, closed my eyes, got a good pass from Kev, of course, closed my eyes, shot it. First I thought my teammate directed it, but it was my goal, so I'm really happy.
Are you going to keep that or send it back home to family?
I'm going to keep it, yeah.
Don't blame you. You've shown some bite. You've dropped the gloves a few times, shown some strives defensively, but how good was it to show out offensively and to help out with an assist as well on one of the goals tonight? How are you feeling of adjusting to the North American style of game?
I mean, it's always good to score some goals, have some assists throughout the season, some offensive plays, but yeah, I mean, I adapted pretty quick, so yeah.
What is the coaching staff asked from you, and what have you tried to implement as you've gotten forward now about a month into the season and getting used to everything here in Niagara? Like, how do you feel personally, confidence-wise?
Yeah, I'm more of like a defenseman, just like first defense. I can drop the gloves. Like I think I can do like everything maybe. Yeah.
What did you think of the game tonight? Obviously, Sudbury, coming in off a 3-3 here in their final game, and they took it to you guys a little bit in that first period, but it seemed like as the game went on, you guys started to gain the momentum back. How did you feel as the game went on there to get the 2 points?
Yeah, it was an up and down. Like, we score a goal, they score a goal, but I think they got tired in the second, third period, so we started pushing them more. Yeah, and I think that was just they started to get tired, so that's it.
There was Ben Reisnecker on the Niagara IceDogs player post-game, brought to you by the Niagara Denture Clinic. Christian, really good thoughts there for his first interview, I got to say.
Killed it.
Did really well, handled himself really well for the Czechian import, and talked about a lot of things there as far as trying to get used to the North American style and how he's fitting in and the coaching staff, and talked about being more of a defenseman, but it's nice for him to chip in offensively as well tonight.
For sure. I love the words that he uses. Drop the gloves, fight, shot, goal. He knows all the right words in English, for sure. But love his game. The Grayson Tiller strategy as well on that shot. Just closed his eyes and let it rip. Seems like two guys tonight did something similar. Just, spray and pray. But, no, he brings so much to this team. Such a character guy in the back end. You love the fact that he endears himself to his teammates in a way of, blocking shots and being physical and, willing to drop the gloves. And, I think just he's a special player for a guy to be that size with that kind of skill, with that kind of attitude and mentality towards the game. He's fantastic. And the 2 points tonight, he played physical, and he's anchoring a top unit. Well, could be a top unit. Again, I think, just like the forward core, the defensive core is just as deep. You could go up and down the lineup, but he's playing with Liam Spencer, and that's a pretty big-bodied unit. You look at those two guys, one 6'5", the other 6'3". Doesn't get any meaner and bigger than that. So I like the unit he plays on. I like the way he plays. I like his mindset. He's going to be a staple here. The fans are going to love him. And hopefully we continue to see performances like he had tonight. I think he's a big character guy, and I'm sure the guys in that room love him.
And he talked about Sudbury looked like they were starting to get a little tired, and they were able to take advantage of that. So it was nice of him to sort of recognize that. But congratulations to Ben Reisnecker, and we'll see if he sends that puck home. He said he's going to keep it, but
I can't believe that. No, Mom, you're not getting it.
But then he didn't even have it to take a picture afterwards,
right?
So he had to go back in to get it. But
we're trying to get him to take a picture for the socials, and he's like, "Oh, puck? Okay," runs to the locker room to get it. Like, he didn't even bring it with him. He left it in his stall. Great guy, great player, great defenseman. Just an all-around dog, Ben Reisnecker.
And before we get out of here, we're going to put Christian on the spot with our stick tap of the game, brought to you by Butt Ends Hockey Stick Grips, specifically for the top end of the stick, designed to replace traditional cloth tape. Check them out at buttends.com with a Z, and use our referral code ArmchairGM to get 10% off your first order. Butt Ends, the number one grip in hockey. Christian, who are you going with tonight?
Tough, Brandon. I don't know.
Give me one and an honorable. That's all you can do.
Okay,
we got to get out of here in 5 minutes.
I was going to give you a dog pack. I got like 3, but I'll give you one and an honorable. Fine. Because
it's Thanksgiving, you can quickly get the second one in.
Got it. Okay, Ben Reisnecker. Number 1, I'll go with him. 2 points. Scores his first in the OHL. Got to give it to the young man. He played a great game. So he's my player of the game. Handled the interview fantastically. MVP all around. Tonight, I thought Ben Reisnecker was fantastic. Vladislav Yermolenko, my big dog number 2, 42 saves on 45 shots and some big-time stops. Krys Barch really talked about it. He made the saves tonight when he had to. He was all over the crease. We've seen that acrobatic skill before. It was nice to see it on display here tonight, really showing that butterfly ability. And then Kevin He would be my third and final big dog of the afternoon. 1 goal, 2 assists, 3-point night. He had speed, assisted that Reisnecker goal, opened up the lane. He was finishing his checks, now has 13 points in 7 games, his second consecutive 3-point OHL performance. So I love what I saw from all 3 of those guys. It's tough to pick a single one of them. They're all big dogs for me. And, they absolutely have earned their turkey tomorrow, I'll tell you that.
My honorable mention is Artem Frolov.
Yep, solid as well.
Because there were some of those plays, especially on the power play, where Sudbury had those shorthanded chances, and he had to make that incredible 3-on-1 defensive stick play to be able to break it up. He broke up a 1-on-1 later on another shorthanded attempt. So for me, everything that Artem Frolov brought on the offensive and defensive side of the puck tonight, again, he's not going to show up on the score sheet. He did get an assist on Kevin He's goal in the first period, but since Artem Frolov's been back, reacquired from Flint, I've really loved everything he's brought back there as a mobile, offensively gifted player, but then also making those plays defensively and being able to get back when Sudbury had a 3-on-1 shorthanded. To me, that's a play. It's not going to show up on the score sheet, but it was a big momentum in the game.
That's the kind of guy that he is, though. Frolov doesn't show up in the box score. He's going to get his assists. He's going to get his cake, right? As an offensive defenseman. But he's got so many other facets to his game, and it was really nice to see that on display here today. But big part of the IceDogs victory for sure, and such a talented defenseman. I wish I could play like Artem Frolov. All right, I considered myself to be an offensive defenseman, nowhere near that level of skill. But I really appreciate his game, and it's major junior hockey up and down the roster. You could pick any single player tonight for the Niagara IceDogs. They all played fantastic. It was a team win. The IceDogs get 2 points here at home.
Absolutely. So no post-game show next week for the Saturday game against the Erie Otters, but we will be back the following week with a couple of home games for the IceDogs as well, and they're going to have a 3-3 that weekend, so it's going to be tough. They've got 2 home games and then a road game as well, so they're going to want to take advantage of this easy home-and-home with the Erie Otters, even though it's not going to be easy. Travel-wise, it's easier, but again, with this rivalry week coming up, it's going to be fun as well. But again, happy Canadian Thanksgiving to everybody here. I know the Americans listening to us think that we're crazy having it so early in October, but we still get to watch football on the same day as well and enjoy our Thanksgiving turkey. So before I leave, I want to say I'm thankful to you, Christian, for being a part of this with me. I'm thankful to Dog Country and the Dog Pound fans that came out tonight for our ticket giveaway as well. For those that continue to listen and watch us throughout the season, and as well to the players, the coaching staff, and everybody that supports and is a part of this organization. It really puts into perspective days, and I guess 2 days like this when it comes to Thanksgiving, things that you sort of reflect on. It's nice to be able to do this sort of thing for a job, and it's a privilege to be here every single game.
For me, I could say the exact same thing. I'm thankful to you, Mr. Caputo, for giving me the opportunity this year. I'm having an absolute blast doing this, and to the listeners, I have to be thankful for you as well for allowing me to be here. I really appreciate the opportunity. I don't take it for granted. Thankful to just be here in this environment, and thankful to the players for displaying such high-level hockey. It's really, really an honor to be here. To my family, for them tuning in. My grandmother loves the show. To you, Grandma Lena, I love you. I'm thankful for you. My sister, my twin, my rock, I love you as well, Sophie. And to my parents, Mom and Dad, I'm thankful for you doing everything that you guys do for me, top to bottom. The food doesn't cook itself. Lord knows I can't cook, and I am very thankful for you for that. And everything else, I can't say enough good things. To everybody in my life, thank you for giving me the opportunity to be here today and, to grow into the young man that I am currently. And, top to bottom, I'm happy to be here, happy to be alongside you, Brandon. And I couldn't be thankful for more on this Thanksgiving Sunday.
Yeah, I should thank my family as well. Shout out to my mom, my dad, my grandmother, and our dogs as well. So, and to all the colleagues here, great colleagues here.
Oh, great. Yeah, Denise.
Rod Mahood,
Rod,
Bill Patras.
Bill, you name it, everybody.
Steve Clark, Ed Burkholder, all those guys. They all do a
Darren
great job.
Sawyer, the producer of Cogeco YourTV. That man does not get enough credit. He is the Jesus of the production, the Flow TV broadcast in here. He does a fantastic job. So top to bottom, everybody here at the Meridian Centre, and to our listeners as well. Thankful for you guys. I feel like that's got to be up there as well, eh?
Yeah.
Come on.
Oh, yeah. I thanked him. Don't worry. And owner Darren DeDobler as well. We saw him
Absolutely.
pregame as well, and he was in good spirits as well, so good to see him. So that's going to wrap it up for our Niagara IceDogs game recap right here on the Dog Pound Podcast, the official podcast of your Niagara IceDogs. Proudly brought to you by Global Pet Foods, where pets are undeniably part of the family. There are 3 great Niagara region locations. Thank you to those that are tuned in on our YouTube channel and those that chose to listen to us the next day on your favorite on-demand audio platform. The IceDogs take it 4-3 over the Sudbury Wolves. Enjoy the rest of your Thanksgiving weekend. Enjoy the turkey comas tomorrow, whatever you're enjoying with yours and your family, and we'll talk to you again very soon.